Welcome back to another installment of Barbershop Talk, our third installment. My name is Danny Torres, you guys know me, and today I'm honored to have our guest here, DJ Kinsler from FIU Football. So happy to have you here, man. We had you on the pod. Unfortunately, I was sick. I couldn't be on the pod with you that night. I wanted to get this done, be in the shop, and welcome to the shop, man. Thank you for being on.
It's a pleasure being here. I appreciate you guys for having me on tonight.
Now, you're from Pahokee. It's a small town, but I want you to explain to our viewers what it was like growing up there and where it is. Some people may not know.
Pahokee is like close to West Palm, like south of West Palm Beach. It's close by Lake Okeechobee. And what it's like growing up in Pahokee, it's tough growing up in Pahokee because like it's not many resources there. Like, and then it's one school, everybody goes to one school. And then football-wise, it's like just one football team, one little league team, and then you got a JV team and a varsity team. But the middle school and the high school is together. It's a middle senior high school, so it's 6 through 12. So you can actually play. It's a good in the back because you can actually play varsity football in the 6th grade.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Varsity in the 7th grade through the 12th grade.
That must have been really good. Now, it being a small community, I'm sure everyone knows each other, is familiar with each other. And sometimes when you're talking about football, the atmosphere is better when it's a small community like that because everyone is really into it compared to here like in Miami. But was it a really intense football atmosphere in Pahokee?
Yeah, it was a really intense football atmosphere. Because like you said, everybody know everybody. It's a small town, so it's like if you're doing bad on the field, you can help somebody on the teammate, somebody on the field, like uncle saying something to you, and like they really know you and they really know your family. They could be yelling at you from the stands like, you need to do better. So it's like it's really crazy in Pahokee, like football-wise.
Now, I want to know what got you into growing up. What got you into football?
My dad. I ain't have a choice. I ain't have a choice. Like, I wanted to play basketball because I was like always taller than all my friends and teammates and stuff. But my dad, like, he used to come get me every day from the house from football practice. I used to try to duck him and try to go. He always find me. So I could never try to run from it. My dad got me into it, and then I grew to like it as I got older. So I stuck to it.
Now, in high school, what would you say was the hardest team that you had to face throughout high school?
I gotta say Glade Central, our rivalry. Yeah, our rivalry.
Okay. Yeah, the rivalry game's always gonna be there. I was just thinking about this today, actually on the way here. People sleep on Central Florida teams and North Florida teams. Everyone talks about South Florida. Granted, we got good teams down here. I mean, there's Central, Northwestern, and we got Columbus right down the street over there. But let me tell you, when some of these South Florida teams play teams up there in Central Florida, like for example, Apopka, Seminole, Mandarin, this is some hard teams. And there's a lot of people go recruiting up in Central and North Florida too.
I feel like when the up North Florida team play a down South Florida team, they feel like they got to make a statement because you know how they say Florida is just down south. Like they say once you go past like West Palm, that ain't considered Florida no more. So I be feeling like they be trying to make a statement and they play their hardest. So, but it's talent all around Florida though, definitely.
Which is something weird because USF is in Tampa and they call it South Florida, and for us it's like, no, it's not South Florida. Yeah. So we always confuse with that. But so when you leave Pahokee, you go to Syracuse. Was it always your intention through high school to play college football outside the state of Florida? So you're like, I want to get out of here. I want to leave.
Yeah, I was trying to like experience new things because I had never like been outside of Pahokee. I had never been outside of Florida, like outside of football-wise in my visits. So I wanted to go experience something new and be in a different atmosphere.
Was Syracuse always your first choice?
Nah, I had committed to Louisville when I was in the 8th grade, and I stayed committed to them until I was in the 10th grade.
Wow, and that's crazy. Like, just the fact that you said 8th grade, that's crazy, man.
I was committed to Louisville for 3 years, and when Bobby Petrino had got fired, I had decommitted.
What would you say when you get to New York? What was the hardest adjustment that you had to make?
The weather.
The weather?
the weather. Man, coming from Florida, I had never seen snow before. I had never been in, like, anything under 50 degrees was cold. And then when I went up there, I early enrolled, so I got up there in January. It was like negative 15 degrees, like my first day there.
Yeah, man, I don't know if you saw Buffalo Bills and Cleveland Browns supposed to take place in Buffalo, I think on Sunday Night Football. And they got moved. The game got moved, actually announced it this afternoon, to Detroit, because there was going to be 6 feet of snow projected on Sunday night. And they're like, NFL's like, we're not playing the game there. We're moving that game. Did you have any games where you played in the snow?
When we played at Notre Dame, it was snowing, but not too bad. But that was the only game I played in the snow. But we used to practice in the snow at Syracuse.
Take me through that. Like, when you're playing and practicing in the snow, like, how do you come, obviously when you're on the field, like, it's still cold, but you're in the heat of the moment, you're playing, so you're not really thinking about it too much. It's probably when you get to the sideline and you got to just wait there and stand that it's probably bad. What would you do? Like, what would you do in those instances?
Playing in the snow is crazy. It's fun and dangerous because it's like you got to be very careful because you can slip and fall. Like, one time in practice, like, it was like my first time in the snow. Like, I fell like 7 times. And my coach was like, "You can't be moving as fast in the snow because it's like
the
slick."
ice, yeah, the ice
it's like you got to slow down. You can't play as fast. You got to be under control. So I got used to it over time. But when you get on that sideline, you be freezing, like you be shivering on the sideline.
I've seen it in NFL teams do it, but any hot chocolate, stuff like that.
Yeah, they had a hot chocolate. They had like they had like a heating bench where you sit on the bench and the bench warm, and then they got like a fan with blowout heat also in Syracuse. Really nice. So yeah, they have a couple things to try to keep you warm.
The coolest thing I've seen, and this was in soccer, it was professional soccer. I took a tour of the team in London called Chelsea, their stadium. Since it gets cold in England, their locker room, the floor was heated. So when the players would come in from the game at halftime or at the end of the game, the floor was heated for them so they wouldn't be cold.
That's crazy.
I know, man. I was like, we can't have that here in Florida, but somewhere up north, it would be nice to have that. It's probably expensive, but it'd probably be really nice to have that. So take me through, you're at Syracuse. What makes you decide to come back to Florida, and why FIU?
So it was mostly like football wise because I was on second string out there, and then I wasn't really like before when I first committed to Syracuse, they was running like a 4-3 defense. So I was an outside linebacker, and then when I got there, they changed the defense to a 3-3-5. Okay. So they moved me to inside backer. So like I wasn't really doing things that made me stand out, that I know like pursue my game. Like I wasn't pass rushing and things of that nature. I was mostly dropping in coverage. So me and the defensive coordinator at Syracuse, like we came to an agreement that like, yeah, like this defense,
to move on.
Yeah, so yeah.
And I've seen like on Hard Knocks, I'm sure you've watched Hard Knocks, how those conversations go. Like there's players that take it personal, and then there's players that they're just like, I get it. How was that conversation like for you? Like was it something difficult for you in the moment, or like, wow, like I left home to come to Syracuse, I sacrificed that, I wanted to try something different, but now that I get here, I sacrificed all that, it's not working out for me. How was that for you?
I mean, it was difficult. It was difficult at first because like I had to build up the courage and of how I wanted to explain to him that like I felt like it's best for me to leave and put myself in another situation. And then I had to also explain to my parents, which was very hard because they was big on Syracuse because of the education there. Yeah. So I mean, I built up. It took me like a month to tell them. I knew like a month before I actually told the coach I knew I was leaving.
Were you feeling like you were letting people down?
Yeah, I definitely felt like I was like I'm letting my family down. That's why I was like, dang, like it just took me like a long time to build up the courage to tell everybody.
Yeah. I'm sure like you had that feeling of like, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna just keep on trying to see maybe things change or like there's hope or whatever. And then, I mean, it's life in general, but ultimately you probably were like, I want to continue my college career and, you know, get a chance to play NFL. I have to switch. I have to make the switch. Which, how was that, aside from your coach, how was that conversation with your parents like?
I mean, at first it was kind of hard. Like, they was trying to force me to stay and like push through, but I felt like I was already doing that before I even told them.
Yeah.
So
you already passed like the last straw. Yeah.
So yeah, it was difficult. It was very difficult. But after a while, they had understood and they told me make the best decisions for me. Like, they gonna support me with whatever I do.
Now, when you enter the transfer portal, name me some of the schools that you were looking at.
When I entered the portal, my first day in the portal, Western Kentucky offered me. So I was looking at them first. Western Kentucky, I was looking at UTSA. Utah had offered me like my second day in the portal. It was like mostly CUSA schools had offered me. So it was a lot of CUSA schools I was looking at. I was looking at Miami also because the defensive line coach from UTSA, he came to Miami, like he had left that job and got the Miami job. But I had already committed to FIU by then, so I didn't want to.
So it was like,
like I'm just going to keep my commitment to stay with FIU. He was trying to get me to Miami though.
Now, when you committed to FIU in the transfer portal, was that already with the new coaching staff or was it with Butch Davis's coaching staff?
No, it was with the new coaching staff. Yeah, Coach Mack had texted me, then he called me. I know I wanted to be close to home, so I committed like 2 days later. After just thinking about it, I just committed.
You were probably like, I'm sick of this cold weather. I'm coming home. Would you say being close to home and being close to your family is one of the biggest things that came into that decision?
Most definitely. Like, because like it used to be things going on while I used to be in New York, and it's like I couldn't make it or I couldn't be there. Yeah, so that got tiring after a while, so I wanted to be close to my family.
I feel like I personally have had instances in my life where, like, in my career, I landed second runner-up in a job for the Utah Jazz, and in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm ready. Like, the NBA, like, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm going to Utah. And still, I have that mindset where, like, in my career, if an opportunity comes up and it's a big and good opportunity for me, like, I'm going to take it. But I do know in the back of my head, I'm going to be like, man, like, I'm leaving home behind. And then, like, the same situation where there's things going back home and, like, you want to make it, but you can't. And I mean, you know, as an athlete, like, sports it's nonstop. And it's hard sometimes. I can relate to you that working in sports, it's hard sometimes to make time for not only friends, but, family as well, because you're caught up. You're busy and, in season and stuff like that. But I'm sure that your parents are happy that, they can drive easily from Pahokee to Miami, no problem.
Yeah, they done been at every home game.
Oh, so they've been. That's what I was going to ask you next. They've have every home game. Every home game.
Man, I be having to get like 20 tickets a game now. Whole family be there just for the game. Like my mama, she'll chill with me after the game for a while. We'll go out to eat, but she'll always head back home though. But
that's awesome.
I always have to get like 20 plus tickets now.
So I want to know, what is the craziest thing, whether it's high school or college, Syracuse and FIU, what is the craziest thing that someone has told you on the field? You can say it, man. Hey, this is a safe space. You can say it.
Man. Actually, that FAU game, Saturday.
Are you serious?
Yes. They told me, man, I made a tiger. The running back got up and told me, he said, "You a bitch. I hope your mama die."
What?
I looked at him like, what? I'm like, they tripping. Like, they really talk like this. I asked one of my teammates who been at FIU for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, they really be talking like this during this game? He was like, yo, man, it get real serious. Like, they be talking crazy. I'm like, man, that made me mad, though. I was trying to kill everybody after that.
There's a line, like there's trash talking,
Nah, that was,
but then there's a line of like, you don't talk about
That was-
someone's family member dying.
that was past trash talking.
That was personal right there. Hey, bro, I don't know how you did it. I would have been swearing my helmet, bro. I would have been, hey, he knows, I have a short temper, especially if I've gotten a couple red cards in soccer. I've been ejected. I have a short temper, but I don't know how you kept your composure on that one. Would you say you're more of, when you're on the field, of a quiet guy, or do you like to talk some crap?
I feel like it depends on who I'm playing. Like, if I know them, I'm talking crap to you. But like, if I don't know you, like, I'm just chill and quiet.
So if I thought you were to play Syracuse,
Oh boy, I'm talking all day. I'm talking to the coaches on the sideline, the players, the equipment people. I'm talking to everybody, cause I know them. I'm talking smack.
You guys did.
I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking junk to everybody, the trainers, everybody.
what were your top 5 in the league? I know when you were on the pod, you guys did it, but I think things have changed from then and now. So what's your top 5 in the league right now?
Top 5. Gotta go with the Eagles.
Still at first?
Yeah, still.
Okay.
Nah, this ain't no order. This is just 5 teams.
Okay.
Eagles. I gotta go with the Giants. I gotta go with the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Dolphins.
Our list is a little different.
Let me hear your list.
I'm gonna go with Eagles lost to the Commanders, so I'm taking them out.
For one game?
I'm taking them out of first.
Okay.
So I have Kansas City at 1. I'm gonna have to put Minnesota at 2. I'm gonna have to put Philly at 3. Number 4 is gonna have to be Buffalo. I had Cowboys at 5. But because they lost to the Packers, I'm taking them out.
Yeah.
And I got the Dolphins at 5.
All right. I like your top 5.
I gotta put, Justin Jefferson is balling out.
He bought him for sure.
And I'm sorry, the Cowboys play Justin Jefferson on Sunday, and we're gonna lose. It's in Minnesota, we're gonna lose. They put Trayvon Diggs on him. I don't think it's gonna work. I love Trayvon Diggs, but Justin Jefferson's just balling out right now, bro.
Yeah, good year.
I think Minnesota really has a chance to be a Super Bowl contender.
What Minnesota record is? They lost like 2 games, right?
1 game, I think.
One.
I think they're 8-1, I believe. I'm telling you, everyone's been sleeping on the Vikings this year.
Yeah, I'm sleeping then. I ain't know that.
But you know what? There's something I have to personally apologize for, because I didn't think Kirk Cousins had it like that. Especially when you see him coming out of Washington, he's like, "You like that?" I didn't think he had it in him. But you know what? It's working for him. It's working for him. So we're gonna have some fun questions now. Give me your favorite TV show. It can be now or just like growing up in general.
Now, Blacklist is like 9 seasons. It's a lot.
Oh man, but you know what? I gotta check that out. Okay, this one's controversial. Who has the best chicken sandwich?
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, there we go. There we
Chick-fil-A.
go. There we go. My guy.
I tried last week. I tried Raising Cane's. Just opened one up in Homestead.
I heard about that.
I waited 30 minutes just to order. That's how many people were there. And I got to give it an 8 out of 10. It was good, but it still doesn't beat Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
Popeyes is good too.
Popeye's good too.
That one's a close one for me, but it still doesn't.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, it still doesn't beat Chick-fil-A for me. Favorite music artist?
NBA Youngboy. Who your favorite artist?
Kanye. LeBron or Jordan?
LeBron. I mean, I gotta go with
Oh.
LeBron because like he's my era. Like I ain't see Jordan play.
Yeah, but undefeated in the finals. He's got that clutch in him.
He do. But I gotta go with LeBron though. I never seen Jordan play like.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. I personally haven't seen Jordan play other than YouTube.
That's what I'm saying. Like I done seen LeBron play like full games. Like I ain't never seen Jordan play a full game, so I can't put him over LeBron.
That's a hot take. All right. What about Brady or Manning?
Brady.
Okay. I know there's a comparison there. Everyone talked about Brady or Manning, but I feel like each time they played, Brady got the best of them.
Yeah, Peyton Manning really smart though. Like when I used to be watching, he used to be at the line like checking the play like 8 times, like calling his call. I'm like, God.
But you know what? People make fun of me because in my, you know those like fat head stickers that people put like on their walls and stuff like that?
Yeah.
People make fun of me because I have a Tony Romo fat head in my room. That guy is one of the best commentators that guy calls a play before it even happens. He's like, hey, you see that right there? And that right there, this is about to happen. Ball snaps, exactly what he said happens.
Yeah, that's that football IQ.
It's quarterback knowledge. I mean, he wasn't bad. He was on the Cowboys.
He had a decent career.
He had a decent career. Again, he was just on the Cowboys. All right, here's another one. Did Des Bryant catch it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, he caught it.
You see, that was another instance of my life that was completely ruined because I felt like we could have gone to the Super Bowl that year. We had ready, so that specific year, if we would have beat Green Bay, if they ruled that a catch, which probably would have happened, we would have played Seattle at Seattle, which we had already beaten them in Seattle in the regular season. So I felt confident we could have done that again. And then we would have had New England in the Super Bowl, which I feel like maybe we could have done it.
I don't know about that.
But with Brady, you never know, man. So do you think, and this is another hot topic, do you think Brady made Belichick or Belichick made Brady?
I think Brady made. No, I can't say that because Belichick is a guru.
Hey, be careful what you say. He might be your coach one day.
Yeah, you're right. Belichick made Brady.
That was a good one.
You're right.
Good choice.
You're right. You're definitely right. You're definitely right.
So take me through your game day routine from the moment you wake up to the moment the game ends. What does that look like for you?
So around 8 a.m., I wake up, take a shower, get myself going. Then around 9 a.m., I go down, eat breakfast. Then after I eat breakfast, I have a hydration test. Then after that, we do position meetings, team meeting, and defensive meeting to go over everything. And then we do chapel. At the chapel, we have a walkthrough. Then after walkthrough, we have like an hour or two, like free time, downtime to chill. Like your family can come over to the hotel and stuff like that.
Nap?
Not really.
Not a nap type of guy?
Nah, coach always say don't take no nap before the game.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Then after that little downtime, we go back out. We have dinner. Coach do the pregame speech. Then we do a walkthrough right before we get on the bus. Then we get on the buses and we head to the stadium. After the game, if it's a home game, like I can be in the training room for like a whole hour after the game, like hot tub, cold tub, getting in the compression boots, and like just like getting scraped, cause you always have nicks and bruises after the game, so you just gotta treat them. Then that'd be pretty much it. Away game, like you can't really treat yourself as well, so they just give you ice packs and stuff. We gotta get going.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite? Because I know they provide food for you guys. What does that look like? Or do you have a favorite like pregame meal?
My favorite pregame meal would be tacos.
Okay.
Yeah, I like tacos. No, not Taco Bell, like the Mexican tacos.
Okay.
Like if we have a home game, I'll have somebody bring me like tacos, like the Mexican tacos. But
Okay.
if it's an away game, I'll just eat whatever they got.
Yeah.
Now, is it true? I was gonna ask you this because I've heard this before, but I don't know. I don't know if it's true. But even on a home game, do you guys stay in a hotel the night before?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you stay in the hotel, away games and home. Because, like, they don't want you, like, doing nothing crazy the night before, getting in trouble.
Yeah, they want to have you contained. Yeah.
Yeah, they want to have you contained. Yeah. So then that's why, because when you said, oh, we get in the bus, I was like, even on home games, because I worked for FIU Athletics, and I always remember seeing, like, the team pull up in a bus, and I'm like,
What was they?
I was like, don't you guys live, like, right across the street? You guys doing it on a bus?
Yeah.
Now, I don't think it's mandatory, but I think you guys wear your tracksuits and stuff like that. It's not, you don't have to wear a tie and a suit or anything like that, right?
Nah, it depends on the head coach, though. Because at Syracuse, we had to wear, like, a suit.
I remember, but this was with a different coach, when FIU played Miami, when it was under Butch Davis. It was only on that specific game that I could remember, everyone was wearing a suit to Marlins Park, specifically for that game. Hey, but it worked out.
That's the game they won, right?
Yeah. I'll never forget, I believe it was November 23rd. I think it was before Thanksgiving, 2019. I'll never forget that date. Who would you say, it can be a family member or it can be an athlete, has been the biggest impact and inspiration in your life?
I would say my mom, my dad, and my granddad. Because just seeing me, like, being younger and just seeing them push through everything, that all the obstacles that was thrown at them, like, living in the conditions that we was living in, and they always kept fighting to make sure, like, they provided for me and my little sister, so I would have to say them.
When we talk about, let's say, the dog mentality, do you feel like a dog mentality in an athlete, or even yourself as an athlete, is that something that you're born with, or is that something that you develop, or it could be both?
I feel like it could be both, because some people are born with that dog mentality, like, when you want to feel, you're just an angry person. But some people have to develop that dog mentality, like, because some people have, like, things in their past that make them a dog, and some people, like, they didn't go through many things when they was younger, so they just playing just to play.
Now, are you one of those, would you say you're one of those players that feeds off of the crowd energy, or you're one of those players that really is just, like, zoned out, doesn't hear anything, just locked into the game?
I'll say both.
Both?
Yeah, I'll definitely say both, because, like, when I was at Syracuse, like, the crowd energy, like, when you see all the fans going crazy, like, that just take you to another level.
Yeah.
And then now that I'm at FIU, it's like,
It's a little different.
yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah.
So I be locked in, like, I don't even be hearing the fans for real. They be like the fans was loud this game. There was a lot of people there. I be locked in. Yeah, definitely on away games it be like that. Like when we played Charlotte, they fans was like talking crazy.
I don't know why, bro. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know why.
They fans were talking crazy. Like they was throwing stuff on the field on our sidelines.
Really?
We played Texas on Texas State. Like, you know the little gun we got, like the little turnover gun?
Yeah.
Like, when our players shot the shirt, they threw the shirt back on the field at us. So, yeah, that coach was mad about that, so that took all us to another level.
He was all right. They just threw that shirt back. Go show him.
Yeah.
Get in there and go show him.
Like, y'all got to do something about that.
What would you say in college? I asked you for high school already, but in college, toughest team, whether in Syracuse or FIU, toughest team?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame? I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Notre Dame.
They
was just so, like, technique, sound, and discipline, like, they made limited errors. And then, like, the offensive line that they had, I think 4 out of 5 of them in the NFL right now. I think that's the best stadium I played in. Like,
Yeah?
yeah, it's like the stadium beautiful. Yeah, it look real nice. They fans crazy. It was that game.
Every time I think of Rudy.
Yeah.
That's all I think of when I think of Notre Dame. I think of that stadium, I just think of Rudy. So, DJ, tell me, for kids, whether in middle school or high school, that are playing football or want to get into college football, what would be your message to them as motivation or an inspiration, because it's tough out there, and especially the whole recruiting process and stuff like that, and even players that don't get recruited and they have to be a walk-on. What would be your message out to all these younger players?
My message would be to keep going no matter what. Like, never give up. If it's something you really want, keep going no matter what. Always push yourself. Like, things ain't gonna always go how you plan, or things not gonna always go perfect the first time, but never give up. Always keep going. Finally,
To close off, coming out of a small town like Pahokee, what is the message in your college career, and we're praying NFL career? What is something that you want to represent, or a message that you want out there about yourself as an individual and as a player?
I would say that I'm a very coachable guy, humble guy, very respectful guy. But once I'm on the field, I'm a dog. I'm going to get it all.
Perfect. You guys heard DJ. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was another episode of Barbershop Talk. Thank you, bro. We appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. You guys catch him the rest of the season, FIU Football. Praying you get into a bowl game. We'll be watching out for that, and just stay tuned to him and his career. And we'll be tagging all his social media. You guys can tune into his career. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll be back soon with another Barbershop Talk.